Hey, this is your girl Keisha with another episode of Kickback with Keisha. I know I'm looking like NWA, freaking, what's his name? Somebody from the NWA. Anyway, I took my braids out a few days ago and I knew I had a lot of damage to my hair because I had like those little sister locks, those mini locks, and when it was time to take them out, I started like ripping them out because I had to get my hair done again the next day, so I could go on another cruise. And it was just, I started just ripping them out, and I knew I was ripping out my hair. So I had to put on the hat, even though I love hats anyway. This hair is so damaged, and it is short, and it is just, the length is just crazy. So I am very distraught about that. I am not going to the gym until I get my hair situation taken care of. Like, I'm not like completely bald, but barely. So today what we're going to talk about is going to tie into, of course, relationship stuff, but I'm trying to make sure it's clear. Can y'all see me? It's just like with all the sun and stuff, it just look like it's just a glare or whatever. But anyway, so today we're going to talk about a situation that happened yesterday. Let's take a sip of my tea. Hibiscus and elderberry. Did a mix. So yesterday, well, I'm gonna back up a little bit. So I did a virtual visit. I won't say the name of the company, but I did a virtual health visit, and for some reason or another, my health insurance was not added to the visit, and I paid out of pocket. I knew this, and the whole thing was, okay, well, once the bill is generated and they actually bill you, then we can work on, getting you the refund and processing the insurance. I knew that going in, shortly after I did the visit. So I get the bill and I get charged yesterday. So I called the company and I was like, hi, I was told to call in and then you guys could process my insurance, and then eventually I'll get a refund, or you guys can process a refund. I spoke to an African American. She sounded African American, and sometimes people can sound a different way on the phone, so she could have been somebody of a different nationality. However, she sounded like an African American woman. Okay, and so she was nice. She kept me on hold, but she would come back like every 2 minutes or however often they have to. She would come back and say, hey, I'm still working on this, blah blah blah. So she only got like my name and birthday. I don't even think she got anything other than my name and birthday. And so I was telling her, I said, hey, well, I have the visit ID. When I called the other day, they said I didn't have the visit ID number. Would you like the visit ID number? That might help. And she was like, okay, you can give it to me. I gave it to her. She put me back on hold. She kept coming back like, oh, is it? And then she told me, we don't have a record of how it ended. We don't have a record of this visit. You're going to have to call back in a few days. At this point, I already knew that I wanted to hang up and call back and get somebody else. And she said, one of the times she put me on hold, right before she put me on hold, she was like, oh, this was a virtual visit, so that might be, okay, hold on just for a minute, and I'm going to see, put me on hold. Sure enough, she still wasn't able to find the visit. And so I knew before we got off the phone, I was like, man, I'm gonna just hang up and call and get somebody else, okay? And so there was a survey that, you know, they were like, hey, do you want to complete this survey after the call, you know, literally about the person who just spoke to you? And I was like, no. I didn't do it only because I would have put all negative reviews. And I have an issue with people putting negative reviews on one. It had to been just horrible, and it wasn't horrible. She did not have horrible customer service. No, she did not resolve my issue, and I feel like it was just she didn't have enough knowledge how to find the visit. She mentioned it being virtual. Oh, and that's why I'm not. So maybe she's not good at finding virtual visits. I don't know, but nonetheless, I decided against completing a negative review on her because of this one situation. She was otherwise pleasant. So I hung up. I called right back. And guess what? Sounded like her. And I hung up, called right back. It didn't sound like her, but it sounded like another African American woman. I hung up, called back, got another African American woman, hung up. And I waited like maybe 30 minutes before I would call. I'm like, hey, actually, y'all gonna laugh and don't, hey, it is what it is. I'm being honest. That's what I'm gonna be. I waited until it was after like lunchtime. It was like 12 something. And I called back. And I was like, they on their lunch break. Because if I'm working from home, and I know they were working from home because the lady who couldn't help me at first, I heard her fire alarm, like her little smoke detector beeping. And I know that people say, oh, well, if there's smoke detector beeping that they single, whatever. I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm like, that wouldn't be at an office because that's a fire hazard and she's at home. So I'm like, I know these people are taking their lunch breaks on time working from home. Like, who is going to take their lunch break late working from home? Probably no black person, no black woman. Forget it. I know I wouldn't. So call back at lunchtime, and guess what? Sure enough, I got a lady named Ashley. Young girl at that. She sounded very young, and she sounded white, Caucasian. And before y'all comment or y'all try to suggest that I'm racist against my own people, I am not. I'm a realist, and I'm going to tell the truth. Shame the devil. I got Ashley on the phone. I explained to Ashley what was going on, just as I did the other young lady. But this time I said it was a virtual visit. I don't know if that is different, if you know, if that matters, but it was a virtual visit. I have the visit ID number, blah, blah, blah. Now, this lady never put me on hold. Maybe she should have, but every like 2 minutes or so, she would just, I'm still working on it. I do apologize for, you know. So one thing about this company, they have trained their customer service reps to, you know, just keep the person engaged, make sure they're knowing what's going on. If there's any, you know, silence on the phone, just let them know, hey, I'm doing this, and, you know, interrupt me if you need to or whatever, but I'm still working on this. And so she kept doing that. So it took her probably about the same time it took the other young lady to look into my situation. But at the end of the call, she helped me. She found the visit. She knew the amount I had paid. And she said, okay, I have processed the insurance information. We give the insurance about 30 days to, you know, to submit payment or whatever. And at that time, then we can work on your refund. Fine. And so, of course, when her survey came, I did it. You know, if it's all excellent, I want to let others know about her. And if she could get a raise or a bonus, so be it. I did not do the survey on the other young lady, but this is how I'm going to tie this into relationships and dating. And I can only do this because I am an African American woman, and I'm not in the dating field anymore, but I was in there briefly, and And I had a long-term relationship, and I feel like people can't tell us anything. We know everything. And I don't know if she just didn't have the resources, or she could not, when she was putting me on hold, was she reaching out to her supervisor? Was she trying to get the help? Was she trying to get to the bottom of it? I maybe she was. But what I feel like, nobody couldn't tell me anything. And that's not a way to be in a relationship. You are not perfect. Nobody watching this is perfect. And so, just my customer service experience, and the fact that I will hang up if I don't like how the person sounds when I call in for customer service and I need something done. I will hang up the phone until I get somebody who I feel like sounds like they are in a good mood, like somebody who might know what they're doing. If you answer the phone, thank you for calling so-and-so, this is so-and-so, how can I help you? Click. You're not going to be able to help me. Period. And even if you are, I don't want that energy. And so what I'm telling you ladies is, and it's not that I want to say it's us black women, but I'm just having to go by my family, my sisters, my cousins, my whoever, and the people who I know directly, my friends. And I know that there's a fine line between, between that level of, you can't tell me anything, and just not trying to just be level-headed. And so while you're out here dating, be level-headed, be open to, hey, I don't know, or hey, I didn't mean to offend you, and this is where we're at, and how can we move forward? So I know that's a stretch, and y'all might be like, I don't see how this ties into being in a relationship. But I'm just letting y'all know that me, as a black woman, did not want another black woman to help me with my customer service issue, because I did not feel that I would be able to be helped unless I was at her mercy. I was just like, yes, ma'am. Sounded younger than me. Yes, ma'am. Because you don't want to, she would have been off that phone call. She would have been hung up if I wouldn't have, been like, yes, ma'am. We got to do better. We have to acknowledge that we need to check ourselves. I know we don't want nobody else to check us. Well, if nobody else can check us, check your damn self. Check your damn self. And again, the lady I spoke to first, the African American woman, she sounded African American. She sounded pleasant. She didn't sound like she woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But she did not help me. She said it was not. She couldn't find it. It was not, and I need to call back in a few days. And I knew that whenever I called previously, they told me, well, you have to wait until the bill generates, and there's a visit ID, and then we can locate it like that. So I know that it was possible. So I'm not going to call back in a few days. Yeah, a few days. It only delayed me, y'all being able to process my refund, probably instead of 30 days, 32 days. But still, I like to handle stuff before I forget about it, and then in 30 days, I'm not going to be thinking about the refund from, the online visit. So I was just trying to be, handle my business. But anyway, listen, ladies, I'm team women. I'm team black women. I'm team all women. I want everybody to have a good, loving, trustworthy, loyal, just a great relationship. Is that possible for everybody? I believe it is. I believe there's somebody for everybody. And so I'm just kicking back, telling y'all about what happened to me yesterday and how I feel like it ties into being in a relationship. All right, y'all, pray for my hair situation. I believe I'm going to end up putting in like some clip-ins. I cannot. I love wearing my real hair, my natural hair. I'm actually not permed, but I do. I will straighten it out. I will, flat iron it out. I will get blowouts. I still haven't figured out why you won't just get perm. I don't know, but I do like wearing my real hair. I like wearing weaves when I go on trips and stuff, but I love to wear my own hair, and I'm distraught right now. So y'all gonna see some clip-ins soon. I'm looking like Easy E and freaking Ice T. I mean, not Ice T, probably Ice T too. Ice Cube. Oh my God. But yeah. Thank y'all for kicking back with Keisha. I am working on this hair thing. All right, y'all have a great day.